Just released. Volume 3 of 6 in the City of Prophesy series. The Case of the Messenger of Judgment. Featuring U.S. Marshal Harry Bailey. Written by Larry Montgomery Sr. About this book. This adaptation of the King James Version of the Book of Isaiah is the third in the author's six-book series entitled The City of Prophesy series featuring U.S. Marshal Harry Bailey. The Book of Isaiah can only be summed up as the life and times of one of the major prophets in the Bible during a period of God's wrath. The substance of Isaiah's earliest messages was the wrath of God for the sinful lives people were living during that time. Quite frankly, not much has changed since then other than the justifications we use to convince ourselves that we are not sinning. This adaptation focuses on a single sin, that of revenge, and how we as humans continue to justify it. To overview the Book of Isaiah. Slowly he rose, and the crowd fell silent. Those at the back leaned forward, straining to hear. The atmosphere was electric. He spoke, and his carefully chosen words flew like swift arrows and found their mark. The great man, a spokesman for God, was warning and condemning. The crowd became restless, shifting positions, clenching fists, and murmuring. Some agreed with his message, nodding their heads and weeping softly. But most were angry, and they began to shout insults and threats. Such was the life of a prophet. Today, life in the big city can be good when you are a young, educated, and gainfully employed Black American princess, but evil is always lurking in the city's underbelly waiting to strike. This was the tragic reality Ebony Alexander experienced the night she left her cell phone at her favorite diner. This beautiful and strong young black woman's life was taken in a life and death struggle that ended with her being sexually violated, brutally beaten in a murderous rage, then left in the doorway of her favorite diner by a traveling serial rapist. When her sisters learned of what had happened, they each went into mourning in their own way. One decided to take the law into her own hands, just lashed out, and before she knew it she had killed two innocent men. The older sister attempted to allow the justice system to take its course but quickly became the system's worst freelance advocate and found herself not only covering up her middle sister's murders but plunging herself into the same ugly sinful life she wanted to avoid. The saving grace was she only killed the one who unleashed this series of tragic events on her family in self-defense, or was it? Follow this intense crime and investigative thriller to find out the answer to the question: is revenge as sweet as sin when it is justified, or just a lie? Read Messenger of Judgment Volume 3 of 6 from the City of Prophesy series featuring U.S. Marshal Harry Bailey by Larry Montgomery Sr. Available on Amazon and at theauthor'scorner.online.